Hello and welcome to this second tutorial video on our SKYLABcloud, which is our online platform for all of our customers to upload their data, their aerial image data, and view the results of all their projects online. Now, I already did a first tutorial. I hope you've seen that. That tells you how to upload aerial image data and also your area of interest, your AOI. And this tutorial focuses more on how to use the cloud and to view your projects, download your results, and so on once your projects are up and running. Now, once you've logged in with your username and password, you should come to this home page. And you can click on your projects. Now here, each of these projects in many cases will represent, for example, a different product, like a seedling counter project or a tree counter project. But in my case, as this demo test site, I've got different countries. Now, these symbols represent the number of stands that have been uploaded into this project. That's the figure on the right-hand side. And on the left, shows you how many stands have been successfully completed in each phase. So, for example, here we have, of the 6 stands in this Australia project, 6 have got an AOI, which is the area of interest. So that will have been uploaded in the form of either a KML or a shapefile. 6 out of 6 ortho photos have been successfully processed. Detection refers to the seedling detection or the treetop detection, and here only 4 out of 6 of the projects have been completed. And then the analysis maps, which in the case of the tree counter is basically the density map, and in the case of the seedling counter is the density, weed, and vitality maps. If I then go into this Australia project, you can see all the different stands that I've uploaded under this project. Now here there's only 6. But at the top, you can see the overall statistics, and there's a total of 255 hectares within these 6 stands. Now, on the left, you see the symbol representing the product type. So this is a little seedling counter project, and this is a tree counter, for example. But we do have other types of projects, such as ortho photos or sometimes satellite projects in there as well. This is the date, of course, that they've been uploaded or the ortho photos being created, and then the name of the stand. Now, here it's very easy for me to search because all of these, there's very few stands and they're all very clearly named, but we do have customers who have literally hundreds of stands, long numbers, and so basically I can search for anything here by simply typing in the search bar. Oh, sorry, I can see I'm looking for my pine 10-month stand, and there it is. Now, these little colored buttons show the status of the current stand. So in the case of my 10-month pine project, the area of interest is uploaded, the ortho photo is created, the seedlings have been detected, and the analysis maps are now ready. So I can go in and view this stand now. Here, by contrast, the 2 first steps have been completed, but there are no seedling detection yet, and the analysis maps have not been created. And I can see, for example, that my 3rd stand has an orange color under detections and analysis, and that means simply that it's probably already been done, but it's under quality check. So somebody from SKYLAB needs to go in and just make sure that the results are plausible. And if you click on it here, you see it says quality check, please wait. So I have to come back later. So going back to Australia, I'm going to go into my 10-month-old pine stand, which is ready for me to look at. I can see the number of seedlings, which is 29,353 here on the top right. And these are my overall statistics, my average statistics for the stand. So I've got 812 seedlings per hectare as an average density. There's 8% weed coverage across the stand, which is pretty good. And 35 centimeters is the average crown diameter of my seedlings in the stand. So that's a good indication of how well they're growing across the stand. I can see the 4 steps here are all completed. And if I click on show info, I get extra information on that stand. So I can see the date that the project was created, how many images have been uploaded, the species, the planting date, the number of hectares, and the drone that I've used to fly the stand. So I'm obviously curious to see what this looks like. So I click on View Stand on Map, and this is my first overview. I'm just going to remove that map analysis button for now, so that you can see the AOI clearly marked there in yellow, the ortho photo underneath it. And then if I click on seedlings, I can see the little spots that represent, each of which represents a seedling. And I can zoom in a bit. In fact, I can zoom in as much as I like, and I can click on and off the seedlings. I mean, this is a lovely stand because it's nicely row planted, but there they are. And I can have a look at whether or not that's accurately done. Of course, I can zoom around within the stand, look at different areas, see what I think of the quality of the analysis. One other point is if I click on this button here, images, I can see the images that were taken from the camera. So I can obviously see whether there are any big gaps missing in the flight lines, or if there's any red camera symbols, that means that the image itself is not very good quality. Maybe it's blurry. But in this case, nice flight lines, hardly any gaps, and no red cameras. So now I can look at the map analysis. In this case, this refers to the density map. So seedlings in each grid cell calculated as an average per hectare. And I can see some density variation across the stand, of course. Most of these very pale, sort of pale green or white squares are where there are roads. I can see that by clicking on and off that map. And then if I come down here into the analysis layer, I can choose the opacity, so I can see the stand through the map or not. And I can change the color as well, depending on what I want to see. Here is our sliding histogram. So you can move this around to see areas where the density is higher or lower. If I go into vitality, that's again based on crown diameter. Here, this is a very uniform stand actually, so there's very little variation. By far the majority of the seedlings are within this sort of 35 to 40 centimeter range. And if I want to see where the biggest seedlings in the stand are, I can see that they're mostly clustered over there in the right with a bit in the top left. And again, I can change the color. And then of course, weed, the percentage weed in each area of the stand. And again, I can use the histogram to move to see where the areas of high weed density are. Maybe I need to go and do some weeding there. And again, I can change the color. Then if I want to, I can click on the left-hand side up here. I can click on Edit. And, oh, let me just remove that map analysis so we get a better view. I can click on Edit. And this is relating to changing the AOI. So if I'm not happy with the AOI, or I notice that maybe my original AOI is a bit not quite exact, I can click on this button to edit the AOI. And basically I can sort of drag and drop little bits. Maybe I want to cut out this section. Maybe there's some trees there that shouldn't be there. So I cut that out. I have to save any modifications I make. And then once I've done that, I can click on this button, Crop, which clips the seedling detections to the new AOI. But obviously I don't want to do that. So I'm going to undo those changes. And then there's this final button here, Info, where I can see the summary of the stand statistics that we saw on the first page. And if I want to click Save to CSV, I can download basically just those basic statistics. And if I go back to the compartment, I can actually choose to download the ortho photo, the AOI, the points as shapefile for the detection, and the analysis maps. And all of that then can be imported into my GIS. And I think that's pretty much it. I hope I've covered everything. I'm going to go back to my projects. Of course, we are always here to answer any questions. So do just drop us an email to hello@skylabglobal.com or to your project manager if you have any questions or problems with using the cloud. Thank you very much for your time.